Mary Elizabeth Winstead. You play Nikki Swango on Fargo season 3. Let's go straight to, who is this person? What were you told about her when you took on the role?
When I took on the role, I really wasn't told anything about her. I'd been trying to work with Noah for a while, and we talked about parts in the last couple of seasons, and nothing had never really come together. So I was just so ready to be on the show that I was called and said I was available, or asked if I was available. I just said yes, whatever it is, yes. And I think we went through the whole negotiations and everything before I even read it or asked him any questions. I just wanted to be on the show so bad. So once I actually read the first episode, I was really surprised that this was the role I was going to be playing, and excited, but also kind of scared because she was a little bit different than what I was expecting and what I've played in the past. So I almost didn't really know what to ask at first. I was just like, I just felt like it was going to come together in some way. And the main question I had was whether or not Nikki's love for Ray, who is her parole officer slash boyfriend in the show, if that love was real or not, because she's sort of a manipulative ex-con, somewhat conniving if she wants to be type of person. So that was the one element to me that I really needed to know for sure whether that was real or not. And once I knew that, then I could kind of go full steam ahead with making her real.
Well, can you share the answer to that question, or is that really something?
It is. It's totally real and genuine. And Noah said that without hesitating. He was just like, "Oh no, she loves him." That's
loved him. Totally.
They're a couple, and it's a very real love, and their relationship is you root for them even though they're doing these really horrible things, because you feel that their love is so real. And so that was really important to him. And once I knew that, then it was like, it just was all the more exciting because it creates such an interesting juxtaposition of a character. You know, she's doing all these bad things. She can really get into some shady things when it comes to her past and what she's willing to do for love, but she's doing it for what are to her very pure reasons. So it gave me something to really hold on to as an actor.
You know, she's really, like, she's sexy and conniving. She's got this whole vibe going for her. She's very easy to watch. How do you prepare for that how do you get into the mindset of someone like her?
I guess you just get really lucky with the writing. I mean, that's what I was really nervous about it to start with. And I worked on, all I had was the first episode for like 2 months to sit with and think about and obsess over and wonder if I was going to get her right. And, not knowing how she was going to speak and feel and be once I got it all together. And I spent a lot of time worrying about not making her enough. And then once I was on set and doing it, it just was so easy because all the elements are there. The writing is so brilliant. The other actors are so brilliant. The costumes are so brilliant, that I think it just all kind of came to life. And that's what I'm always reminded of when I work with people like Noah, people that are just working at that level of talent. I just am reminded of how effortless it can be when you're surrounded by people like that. So it's really been just the most fun I've ever had. It's just been such a blast.
And what about working with Ewan McGregor? That would have obviously been a highlight. What can you tell us about working with him?
It was so lovely. Again, just so easy. I mean, from the second we started working together, it just clicked. And we didn't have to work at it. We didn't have to figure out how to navigate each other to make this relationship feel real. It just felt real immediately. And I think we work very similarly, which is that we love what we do. And so we both were just giddy with joy at getting to play these roles and getting to perform these scenes, because it's so rare that you get to say these kind of words and play these kinds of characters that just feel so rich and so alive. And so I think we were both just reveling in the joy of the whole thing, which was kind of infectious. And he is just lovely to be around in that way. Just to be around somebody who loves what they do so much, it's hard not to feel the same way.
Yeah, I think you could say that in pretty much any profession. So that certainly helps. It means you can bring your A game, so to speak, because everyone's kind of on the same page.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this was heavy hitters all around. The whole cast was so good and so lovely. So it was just the best. And
his playing dual roles, did that impact your performance at all, or the way that you worked on set at all?
Not at all, which I think it just speaks volumes to how effortlessly he managed to do that. I mean, I still see them as two different people, two different actors, and I look at him as Ray, and I think that's the person that I worked with, and I look at him as Emmett, and I think that's somebody else. And that's kind of how it felt on set too. When I would run into him occasionally when he was dressed as Emmett, I felt like it was a whole other person. The only real difference that it would make would be scheduling, and sometimes it would add a couple hours to the day if he had to change over between one character to another, or, you know, he'd have to come in really early to get into, he had like 2 hours of makeup to play Ray. So, you know, that made it a little bit different than working on other things where everybody just kind of shows up and does it. But I mean, in terms of my process, it was really, this was this person, this was this actor who happened to look like Ray. So it didn't make that much of a difference.
You mentioned that you wanted to work with Noah, the showrunner creator. Is that because you were familiar with the first 2 seasons of Fargo, or were you familiar with his other work?
When we first met, we talked about the first season. So I hadn't really seen his work before, and I really had no idea what this show was going to be. And Fargo, the movie, has been one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie, most of my life. So I went into meeting with him very scared about the whole thing because it's just so close to my heart. So I was sort of like, okay, this is a good idea. I don't know, doing a show about Fargo, I don't know. And then scheduling things happened, and the conversation never really continued anyway. And then I saw the show and I just went, oh my God, how has he done this? How has he made something so brilliant? And I just was so in awe of what he managed to do with it. And then the second season, again, I just was like mind blown. How has he done this? How is he so brilliant? So by the time this season rolled around, when he called, I was just like, oh, thank God. Thank God I can still be a part of this thing, because it's clear now that this is something really special, and I would be, you know, so lucky to have anything to do with it.
Absolutely. You know, we haven't seen a lot of the episodes yet, obviously. I've probably seen a bit more than what I have aired, but do you think that, like, what can we expect? Have we seen your highlight episode already, or is there something coming towards the end where it's just going to blow our minds?
Yeah, Nikki Swango's journey is a very, very unexpected one. And I will say by the end of it, it's been the most challenging thing I've ever done, in the best way. And the most I would have never thought that she ends up where she ends up, or that I would have done the things that I've ended up doing on the show, or gone the places that I've gone. So yeah, I would say there's a lot to come. There's a lot left to be revealed in future episodes. And I think it just kind of amps up as the season goes on.
What did you hope to get out of this experience? And did you think that it met, I mean, you're going to say yes, but did it meet or exceed your expectations?
Absolutely, it has exceeded them. I mean, I knew this was something that I would want to be a part of, because it's so brilliant, and Noah's so brilliant, and everything about it is great. And as an actor, it's a no-brainer to get to have a job where everything is so executed so well. But I certainly didn't expect it to affect me the way that it has. I mean, we just wrapped a couple days ago, and I mean, I could barely, I had to I wanted to hang out on set for the end so I could say goodbye to everybody, and I had to leave because I was so sad. I couldn't even sit around and watch. I just was heartbroken to be leaving this story and leaving these people. It just is like one of those rare, wonderful experiences that don't come around very often. So I knew it would be great for me as an actor, and great for me in my career and all those things, but I don't think you ever can really expect something to be that great on a personal level, because you just can't really know. But this was definitely special in all categories.
I mean, it could have been a complete disaster. Thank God.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like it was. Thank God.
Definitely not. It was like, we all, I mean, everyone, I mean, the crew, everybody, we were just like, I even cried saying goodbye to this woman who owns a shop that I would go into. You know, it just was like, everything was just like it just was a dream job in every way.
Well, Calgary isn't too far from LA, so you can get back there and visit that lady and
I have to go
out with her.
Especially, yeah, I made some good friends on the crew and stuff too that were really hard to say goodbye to. So planning trips and visits for them to come to LA, or whatever we could do. So definitely got close. It
didn't occur to me that the lead time is so short on this. Like you said you had just finished, you'd just come back from Calgary like 5 seconds ago, and that's really, really bizarre. What's it like filming up in a very cold climate? Nikki doesn't wear a lot of the big jackets and stuff that some of the others where sometimes, it depends on what wardrobe you've got on the day, but did you find that challenging?
Yeah, I mean, I think it wasn't as challenging as I was expecting. I went into it really thinking a lot about the weather and like worrying a lot about it, and really thinking, okay, like how are we going to do this? And then once we did it, I don't know. I think once you're in it, it's so important for it to be cold for the show, for the look of the show, for the feel of it. You kind of want to be cold because you don't want to be wearing a parka and look like you're warm. Like, you want to have a red nose and the cold breath coming out. And I think we're so involved in wanting the whole show to be good and for it to look right and feel right that I don't think any of us really ended up complaining about it too much. And also they have such a great group of people who know how to make that work as well as they can. I'd have stickers all over my body of like heat, those sort of
wow.
Like just putting body heat on you, insulating you from the inside out. So they were always patting me up and doing whatever they could to make me as warm as possible. And it was really okay. It was just such a great environment that it made that stuff go by a little bit easier.
If you Google Mary Elizabeth Winstead, a lot of people have written about your acting career and how you've been in a lot of thrillers and a lot of like people will call you a scream queen and all that stuff. So you've had high profile roles in things like 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is fantastic. Why do you think that you had so many roles in that genre, and what was it about that genre that attracted you?
I don't really know exactly why I've been picked for it so much. I mean, I know that unlike, I think there's a lot of actors who don't like it, which I'm learning more and more the more actors I meet
Really?
and talk to. They're just like, and not even in the sense that they think they're too good for them or whatever. They just don't like them. Like they find them to be too scary. They don't want to be in them or watch them or be around them at all. And I've just always loved scary movies. I mean, I like good scary movies. I don't like schlock,
No.
But I like good scary movies. I like things that are unsettling or that just get under your skin or make you feel uncomfortable or weird. And so I've always been drawn to that. I've been drawn to things that are a little bit dark. I mean, my favorite things, which is why I love Fargo so much, are things that are darkly comedic or some really black humor and things like that. So those are my favorite horror movies, I think, are things that have moments of comedy or things that just make you go, oh God, I shouldn't be laughing at that, but I am.
But I can't help myself. So yeah, that sounds good.
I'm drawn to that. And I don't know. I think that there is something people tend to want me to play the kind of final girl type of roles for whatever reason. And so I guess I fit that mold and I was happy to embrace that.
Sure.
So, I've enjoyed playing that girl from time to time.
So given now you're probably doing some press for Fargo, we're heading into Emmy season. Fargo is going to be a huge player like it always is. Once you've done all of that, what's next for you? Have you got many projects lined up?
Not a lot. I mean, Fargo's really been kind of all consuming right now. I'm doing a little movie starting next month that I'm prepping for right now that involves me being a stand-up comedian. So I've been putting off thinking about it for a while because it's very scary to think about having to learn how to make that real and believable. And I might have to actually get up and do some open mic nights or something in LA soon, which I'm like, my stomach like turns over when I think about that. So that's my next thing is I'm going to start really preparing for that. But other than that, I'm just kind of, I'm on this train and just hoping that people are going to watch the show and like it, and I'll get the word out about it and, all that stuff.
Well, good luck at the Emmys later this year. Hopefully Fargo can do as well as it has in the past.
It'll be amazing. Yes, we'll keep our fingers crossed.